We are getting back to that pre-summer scorcher we've been talking about. It has been bearing down on the DMV, and it's just getting started. And it's not just the humans who are going to feel that heat. Our precious little pups are at major risk as those temperatures rise. So here to help keep them safe and how to recognize some of the signs of heat stroke in our pets is Dr. Eric Cryan of NoVa Mobile Vet. Good to see you guys as always. We love having you guys in here. Good to see your daughters, Karina and Kiara, as well. And we've got the lovely pups here as well, guys. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us. Yes,
awesome.
We got our two doggies now. That's Loki and Nala. She's getting big by leaps and bounds, had her about a month or so. But as you were saying, yes, it's with the expected heat wave, we got to take certain precautions. We want to minimize the time they're out during the heat of the day. So, you want to avoid that. If they must be out, give them plenty of access to water all day long, regardless, all year round. But especially if they're outside, plenty of access to water, to shade. Limit the time they're in during the day. Try to have long walks in the early morning or late evening when it's not hot on the pavement and that sort of thing.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to the pavement conversation in a second. But what are some of the signs to look out for that the dog may be suffering from some sort of heat exhaustion or heat stroke?
Excellent question. Definitely with this heat wave coming on, we want to keep a look at it in the summer. Dogs, are more sensitive based on if they have dark coats like Loki or very fluffy like Nala, Princess Floofy over here. They're going to retain heat more, and so we worry about if they show signs of lethargy, trouble breathing, excessive panting, if they become stumbling, neurologic, acting drunk, if their gums look bright red. Those are all signs that your dog wants to may need medical attention right away. So getting them out of the heat, exposing them to cool water on their paws, trying to get them to cool down and seeking medical attention you want to do if you see those signs of heat stroke, because it can be very serious.
Yeah, interesting you brought up the different colors of their coat. It makes sense, but I wouldn't have even necessarily thought about that. What about dogs varying in size, like a small dog versus a big dog? Does that help at all?
It can vary on the dogs. A lot of these small guys are kind of, these brachiocephalic, these short-nosed guys, and their respiratory abilities are limited like even on a good day. Yeah, so they don't circulate and evaporate the heat, and when it's very humid out, their normal panting mechanism to get the heat off and to get their body temperature down is limited. So that's always a concern, when they're out in this heat. Big dogs absolutely get overheated. There's certain breeds that are better than others, but during this heat wave, you want to take precautions with all dogs. Make sure they have water, limit their time out during the day, access to shade, all those good things.
Okay, so if they get to that point where you start being concerned, obviously you want to call your vet like yourself immediately, but anything that you can do proactively while you're waiting to maybe get to the vet?
Yeah, cooling them down, getting them out of their heat, putting them in their shade, putting water on their paws, misting them with water, anything you can to cool them down. Don't have them drink tons of water out of love, but a little bit of cold water at a time to have them, regulate their body temperature is what you want to do, is try to reverse that trend and limit the, the possible consequences of heat stroke, heat exhaustion.
Right, and you mentioned the pavement and the paws. Talk to us a little bit about how you should go about that, because as the day progresses, we know how hot that can get.
Absolutely. Anyone, who's walked on a hot beach or the pavement out after the sun, the sun's been out, knows how much it can burn, and these pads can happen to these guys. So I see guys coming in during the heat that can have blisters and heat damage, and then, and those pads, despite being thick, kind of callus-like thing, their blood supply isn't the best, so it can take a while to heal that up, so we want to avoid that from happening.
Yeah. One more quick question for you, and then I want to have the girls show off some of the new tricks that these babies have learned. What's the time threshold as for when you should maybe be getting things done for the day? Because we know early morning hours, late in that evening, but if you got to take them out, I know I don't get home until noon, but I got to take the dogs out. So short periods, what's that looking like, time threshold?
Each dog is going to be different in how much they can, but you'd want to walk them outside, get the short walk to do their business, and then save the longer walk. So if you need to have them out for 5-10 minutes, not much longer than that. If it's high 90s heat and humidity, that's probably advisable. Save the longer 15-20 minute plus walk to later in the day or early morning when it's not so hot out and that pavement can't cause problems to the paws.
Okay, girls, the babies over here, the fur babies, have been so patient, and you've been working hard with them on their training. So let's see what you guys have got over here.
Nala is very good at come, sit, and spin.
Good job, Nala.
Good girl. And then he already knows sit. He's sitting. Can you wave? 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 Good boy. He's trying his best.
Good job. A for effort, right? What about you, Kiara?
Karina, what do you want?
Karina, excuse me.
What do you want to have him do? Do you want to see if he'll speak?
He can do wave.
Okay.
Sit,
So good.
wave,
Or do you want him to do paw?
Have him shake.
paw,
Put your paw.
Shake.
He's like,
Shake.
oh, the pressure.
paw.
There you go. So cute. And Nala's still very, very in the puppy stage right now, right?
Yeah, she's just 3 months and change. She's already doubled in weight. We got her at 12
know.
pounds, and she's up to, 24, 25 when I gave her official checkup a week or so ago, and I'm sure she's put on a couple pounds that way. The girls, picked her up in the elevator, and, she's like, I'm not going to be able to do this past another week or two, I imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
She was a birthday present, right?
Yeah, she was, Kiki's 14th birthday present.
Love that. Well, guys, thanks so much. Good to see you as always. We
Always a
appreciate
pleasure.
you giving us some tips to help us keep our little pups safe in this heat. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.